Welcome to Real Estate with Ryan on a Saturday. So excited to be with you. As I say that every Saturday, I really mean it. I really mean it. Hope you guys are doing well, enjoying your great March. And it's March Madness. That's that time of the year. It's hard to believe it's that time of year. Watching a little basketball, spring weather, real estate's kicking into high gear. And so excited you decided to spend your Saturday with us. Got a great show for you. I think you're really going to enjoy it. You know, the real estate market's changing, and there's a lot of news in the market. Great time to invest in real estate. So we've got a good show for you. Protect your real estate in an economic change. So the market's clearly changing. You guys know that. And we're going to talk about some tips that you need to do if you haven't already done to protect yourself in an economic downturn, whether you own investment real estate, multifamily, or just your personal residence. So got a really good show for you. And then on the second half of the show, we'll talk about the entities and structures, if you're not familiar with them, that you can set up. And some of them you may be familiar with them, but I've got some good tips and some things that we've learned over the years. And we work with our attorneys and things like that have helped us to kind of share some of that really good advice. I learned a lot the last couple of weeks on things that we were working on. And so just wanted to share it with you guys. And if you're investing, help you any way we can. As you know, we got talking about investment, we got a great new property that just hit the market the other day. And it's in Oak Ridge. So you investors, if it's still here this weekend, Tucker Drive in Oak Ridge, 112 Tucker Road. It's got a full basement on it, big backyard, great neighborhood, great location. And it's ready to go at 145. Just a priced to sell. So I expect multiple offers. I know they're coming, but check that out. And if we have more properties like that, make sure you visit our website, ryancoleman.org, where we're up to date with all the newest listings in the market, whether it's a bank foreclosure, whether it's a resale, whether it's an estate sale. We've got all those for you investors. Just sign up free, no charge, and we'll put you up to date with the newest listings. So how's everybody doing? Everybody doing well? Hope we're doing well. Spring break was full in effect. Everybody with the kiddos were out with spring break. And I know everybody was busy, but the real estate market's been busy as well. I know we're seeing a lot of multiple offers in effect. We're seeing that price range for about that $400,000 moving really quickly. And with that being said, we've got a lot of congrats and some new listings to start, and then we'll kind of jump right into our show. We got 1601 Ponderosa Drive. New listing, beautiful cabin, waterfront property. Make sure you check that property out. 4831 Tamachi Drive. Tamachi, under contract within a day. Multiple offers in Knoxville. And congrats to him. And then 611. So Regas, got a resale in Regas that's just come up. Just hit the market this weekend. 333 West Depot, Regas Square. It's 611, top floor, beautiful 2-bedroom unit. Owner's sad they're relocating, but he's got a new job, new relocation, new history. And so we're so excited for him. But if you guys want to check that out, that's up on our website as well. You got a new listing coming soon on 169 Upton Road out in Sweetwater. And congrats to 2016 Blue Bonnet Drive, under contract with multiple offers. 15701 US Highway 11 in Loudon. Congrats. And then 1317 Americana Drive in Sevierville, under contract. Super congrats. And 713 Ivy Hollow Road went under contract really quickly. And then our great sellers that just closed, Miss Hare, congratulations to 375 Powell Drive. And then 204 Renee Drive, two great sellers that just closed this week. So if you remember, one of my great sellers, we had that call last week if we were talking about our show, and we were missing the buyer for 6 hours. And long story short, if you didn't listen to the show last week, I was chatting with my client, Miss Hare, and we were talking today. I said, Miss Hare, have you ever had that situation where you've sold homes over the years, anything like this? She said, honey, I have not in 4 years, or 4 times selling homes, excuse me. This was definitely a stressful moment. So we had the buyer that was missing. We couldn't find them. They were traveling from, out of the area, and then finally shows up at closing 5 hours late. And they actually closed. We get it done, but it was a lot of nervousness. But that's real estate, and that's what you hire us for, guys. We try to keep everybody calm and sane. And Miss Hare, she must be maybe say we won't say the age, but she's a great client, great senior, and she said I was coming down there, Ryan. I was coming down to see if that was going to happen. So it's kind of funny, but we had a good laugh today. She's super excited and helpful for the journey. Hey, thank you guys for listening. We have so many opportunities in this real estate market that you're buying, selling, whether it's your first home or maybe you're relocating like Miss Hare out of the area to Memphis to be close with family. We do this show every week just to kind of give you a feel of what we do here at Hometown Realty. We're proud sponsors of the Vols, but most importantly, it's not just about selling properties, it's about how we can help you. It's a big journey. The market's changing, and your best advice in this marketplace is to have a great agent in your corner and a team that has your back in this forever changing real estate market. We know the feds are changing the rates every kind of quarter. Seems like every month, doesn't it? And so that's a lot of things that are going on in the market. And so you need to stay up to the date in the East Tennessee market, and we've got you covered. We do this show on News Talk 98.7 at 1 o'clock. We're on Talk Radio 92.3 FM at 11 o'clock. And in case you missed us there, have ball games or combination of both, you can check us out everywhere with social media, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We're on YouTube, TikTok, and of course, we're on all the Spotify, iTunes, and Google. So that's a good place to check us. Without further ado, let's get to our site and show. Don't forget our website. It's ryancoleman.org for all the helpful information that we got. See, so much going on. Talking about real estate and how we get the market changing. So we know the interest rates are changing. We know it's doom and gloom on some news channels. But what really is going on? I think you see in the East Tennessee market right now, we got homes that are still under 2,900 homes in the market. Relatively low inventory. We've been talking about as long as the inventory is low, where we've got an opportunity, that market is still going to be moving. But what happens when the markets, as we've seen the big banks that are too big to fail and all these regulations that come out, what goes on with the economy? There's things that go on in a downturn economy, and we're going to talk about things that I thought you may really want to know if you're investing in real estate, or it's important that you look at these items. And then if you have not even an investment, but just your residence, which is your investment, things you may want to do, structures to set them up, trust, entities, things like that in the second half that will be very helpful. So one of the most important things that you get into is, where do you want to structure savings and protections for your family? So I'm number one, full disclosure, I'm not an attorney. I'm not a stockbroker. I'm just a real estate guy giving real estate advice on this great show called Real Estate with Ryan on the weekend. So, do yourself a favor, check with your trusted advisor in that class, whether it's your lawyer, family planner, estate planner, things like that. But these are things that we thought were very helpful that we would include in the show that you may have not included. So first, your brokerage and savings accounts. These are things you want to protect in an economic downturn. You say, well, Ryan, why would I want to do that? Because when things go crazy, they just go crazy. You just never know. So very important that if you have your brokerage or your savings accounts, do you have them in your personal name? Things to look at, do they need to be in your personal name or a separate entity? And you say, well, Ryan, why would I need to even adjust that? Well, you could have an adjustable rate mortgage and you're an investor. Things come up with that. Could be a lawsuit. Could be a lot of different things. Car accidents. Could be a lot of different things that go into that. These are helpful tips by a colleague of mine, attorney that does a really, really good job that we wanted to pass on to you, okay? And there's opportunities there if you're a business owner or individual to structure those things in separate LLC and put them in those names. Number two, everybody hopefully has a personal residence, and if you don't, we'd love to help you get one. But if you have a personal residence, sometimes that opportunity to have it in your personal name cannot be a good thing. Sometimes we have a lot of our clients that use trusts. And so you may have an opportunity to put your home into a trust or something called a land trust. A lot of people call it a personal residential trust. No state document is required and basically will not affect the due and sale clause on your home, but please check with your attorney. These things are very common in estate planning and very helpful to protect you and to avoid that probate process. Let's talk about business owners. Well, a lot of us in small business, our country is built on small businesses, and understanding reducing your business assets during a downturn is important. make sure you do certain protection activities so that you're structurally able to prevent any kind of downturn. And we saw that in COVID, didn't we? We saw that in COVID. And then rental properties. Let's talk about real estate. We'll kind of get into the second part of the show. How important is not to put your rental property in your personal name? And there's a lot of reasons for that, but we're always going to suggest an LLC. A lot of our clients have an LLC because it gives some protection and from just having things in your name and somebody falls down on the sidewalk, something like that. And then our second half of our show, we're going to talk about different entities that you may want to put your residential real estate in. Stay with us. We got more on the second half of Real Estate with Ryan.
There's no place like home, and this basketball house is special. The great games, players, championships, it's a true home court advantage.
I'm Ryan Coleman. Both basketball and real estate take great drive and determination. Whether you're in the market to buy or sell a home,
let Hometown Realty give you the home court advantage.
Hometown Realty is East Tennessee's #1 real estate group and a proud sponsor of the Vols.
I'm Ryan Coleman with Hometown Realty. The real estate market's changing every day. You need to know your home's value in today's market. Text your home address to 290-2290 for an instant, no obligation home evaluation. That's 865-290-2290. And remember, when you're ready to sell, we have a guaranteed sale program to get you in your next home stress-free. Trust your hometown experts. We've helped thousands of people just like you. All right, back at it, Real Estate with Ryan. Thank you for staying tuned and hope you're enjoying the show. We're talking about protect your real estate in an economic change. And if it sounds like I'm going quick, there's just a lot of information to cover in this short period of time. So, what you guys are going to do, we're going to put all this up on Real Estate with Ryan. We're going to put it on our blog, and make sure you check us out at ryancoleman.org. It's a lot of stuff to cover in a short period of time, but I thought it was really helpful information for you guys. So in investing in real estate, you understand that the market changes. We want to make sure you protect all your assets, and at the same time, you work so hard. Make sure that you're doing these things that, a lot of times we just don't really think about it. We're just out here busy doing it, and with the kids and the family. And before you know, we don't think about asset protection. We don't think about the things that we need to do. I know there's always a goal list or a board list that I have a huge honey to-do list at home, if you're like me, guys. And so before you know it, you can never get to these things. It's kind of, I wish I could. I wish I would. But I figured with the market and the news and everything going on, this would just be a good opportunity that if you haven't taken time to do these things, protect your assets. I know for me and my family and the things that we do, these are for your kiddos. That's why you're investing. Or it's your residence. You're going to pass on down to your family or protect your spouse. These are important things that you need to do. And I know it's always on the need-to-do list, but it seems like there's never enough time in the day. So wanted to cover this, and I hope it's helpful for you guys as we talk about a little real estate. Before we get much further, as always, our 60-second vol update. Hometown Realty is proud sponsor of the Vols, and it's March Madness. Drum roll, please. All right, it's March Madness, and our men are playing, our women are playing. There's a lot of action going on. Looks like we'll be playing Duke this Saturday, if my predictions are right. Tennessee basketball on Saturday. That's going to be a huge matchup. Number 4 and number 5 going at it. Make sure you're watching that game. All eyes on the SEC versus the ACC. Then we got our Lady Vols hosting first round of NCAA women's tournament. They'll be playing Saturday at 1 p.m., and that's exciting. They're the number 4 seed, and they're playing St. Louis, a number 13 seed. And then we got our men's baseball team playing Missouri on the 17th, Friday at 7 p.m., and so much more. But that's all we've got for our 60-second Vol update. Go Vols, go Big Orange, and I hope ladies and the men have a great weekend. Go baseball team, and that's what I've got so far. 60-second Vol update brought to you by Hometown Realty, proud sponsor of the Vols. Woo, I told you it's a busy, busy show. A lot of good stuff going on. Thank you for staying with us. Hope you guys doing well. Hope everybody's doing well. Glad to see a little weather change. Maybe you're battling allergies like me. It's just that time. It's East Tennessee, but hopefully that passes. The other day, my wife was telling me, it's just not March in East Tennessee unless we get a little snow. And I tell you, the other day, we were in the grocery store, and her mama said, it's going to snow. You better get your boots out. And so I don't think it didn't actually snow in our area. But isn't that funny? Just as you start breaking out the shorts in East Tennessee, get the golf shirts out, you're ready to start hitting, and then they talk about snow. But that's why you got to love it. You never know the unexpected here in East Tennessee. So second half, we've got so much for you. So we're talking whether it's your personal residence or investment real estate. If you're going to invest, you got to protect yourself. You got to protect your assets in 2023. And there's a lot of different structures to go over. Again, full disclosure, I'm not an attorney. I'm not your legal advice. I'm just that guy on the radio every weekend talking a little real estate, trying to give you helpful tips that will help you and your family grow your assets, grow your net worth, or protect yourself in a downturn as we're facing the great market that we're in right now. So, all right, let's talk about entities. And if you guys are maybe new to real estate, or maybe you're a seasoned and veteran of real estate, have multiple property, and say, Ryan, I've got this covered. Hopefully, I got a couple tips for you. So make sure you stay tuned that I picked up that I didn't know. So I'm going to pass those on to you. So we talk about basic business entity structure. So our entities are formed at the state level, and there's all kinds of documents and things that you'll have to provide. And there's a lot of different entities that you can have. We'll talk about those and kind of run through them, give you some pros, give you some cons, and then little tips that we have along with it. So if you purchased real estate as an investment, you're probably familiar with the limited liability company. It's effective with business and it gives you limited protection, but there is limited liability protection, and it's relatively inexpensive to set up. All right. The advantages of your LLC is there's no personal liability for business debts. You choose your LLC is taxed either as a corporation or a partnership. And you get with your CPA on the advantages of that, but sometimes you can still have an LLC and tax it as a corporation. You just have to file those elections and things like that. So those are very helpful. And then relatively easy to set up with low fees. We mentioned that again. Disadvantages of a LLC. So they're expensive to set up. They're more expensive to set up than a sole proprietorship. So rather than just go down with your own name, registered name, or a fictitious name down at the courthouse, it is a couple $100 more to set that up. They're not as flexible as your smaller entities. And then there's not as many tax breaks compared to the corporations. So they kind of restrict some of that. Next is your corporations. Most everybody thinks corporations. We think the big Exxons, big companies like that, Google, and but the good thing about a corporation and some of the pros with that is that you do pay lower taxes, and that's always a good thing because we don't want to give Uncle Sam more money than we need to, right? Easier to raise money for business corporations. Expansion, personal liability for debts is waived, and then no double taxations on certain types of corporations. So there is a corporation, which is a C corporation. And so that sometimes you may have double taxation. So that's why some people say, well, Ryan, and I'll kind of get into this, Ryan, I want to go with the S corporation, but when I invest in real estate, maybe I shouldn't do an S corporation. I should put it in an LLC. But I got a great colleague of mine, and they kind of taught us some tips that I was not aware of, and I'll pass it to you. So the difference between a corporation of an S Corp and a C Corp is really when you're investing in real estate, things to think about are very important. So an S Corporation, all your money kind of flows down to your bottom line. But when you're purchasing more investment real estate, your C Corporation keeps everything off your schedules. And so the power of a C Corporation is that right now, I think you're taxed at 21%. But the good thing is that if you're borrowing money, if you're looking to grow your real estate investment opportunity down the road, that sometimes you may want to look at your C Corporation. Because what he told me, which was a really good tip that I was not aware of, and I told you guys, I said, I got a really good tip for you. So if you're out there borrowing money, most investors, the banks risk that real estate isn't a risky investment. That whether you're wholesaling, flipping, renovating, or maybe it's multifamily. A lot of lenders will look at real estate investing as a risky proposition. And so what happens is when you have a corporation, you're going to tie all the properties that you're involved in. And so a lot of investors that we deal with, they have multiple properties. Some banks won't even loan once you get past 8 or 10. Will tie that into the deal. And before you know it, they're giving you a percentage of your rent, usually about 75% of your rent. They're taking expenses. And watch this, when the market downturns, they're going to be deducting certain things. And before you know it, you think you have money to qualify for your next deal. And guess what? You don't. The good thing about a C corporation is that you have a lower tax liability. And then that all the money that flows from that corporation, all those other properties are not transferred over to that page. And then they just have whatever is transferred over to your K1, you get full credit for that with the lenders. I thought that was just a wonderful idea. Hurrying on. All right. Partnerships are always a good idea. Partnerships, less paperwork. Owners can have more control over the business. Disadvantages, you may be liable for some partners' actions, and you limit some of that liability protection, okay? Sole proprietors, it's pretty easy. Start with your own name. Easy to file taxes, no paperwork. But the big thing is it may be tough to get business credit, and it puts you in liability where you personally have that issue. Kind of we talked about the first part of the show. If something happens there that you put yourself personally risk, your home, different things like that. So you really want to look at setting up a LLC or some type of entity that will protect you. And then what's a disregarded entity? Usually the IRS relates to tax-related documents as a disregarded entity. It could be a sole proprietor, or it could be a single member, one-member business that is classified through a disregarded entity in a special form as required by the IRS. That's a lot to cover. That's a lot to go over. And it's a lot to go on to real estate. Go to ryancoleman.org and check all that out. I hope you've enjoyed this show, though. There's a lot of topics that we were covering. And just keep in mind, if you get anything from this show, protect your assets. Make sure you work hard to invest in real estate or your home. It's one of the largest assets that you're going to have. Make sure you have the protections in place and seek the right guidance out there to protect you in this market. As always, if we could help you with any real estate now or in the future, we love to do it. Come back and see us next weekend. We'll see you. Have a great weekend.